Hey, what's up, guys? Divi and Daru here, and we got a freaking party today. And we're gonna be talking about two motherfuckers, and we're gonna be fighting each other. One using telekinesis, and the other one using magnekinesis, or whatever the fuck that's called. All right, introduce yourselves.
Magnetism.
Magnetism. I thought there was another name for it.
Magnets.
Magnokinesis or something
Polarity.
like
A
that.
It's
master
called
of magnet.
polarity.
How do those work?
Magnet.
One, thank you for letting me finally introduce myself.
Magnets.
And we got beef, and we got
Oh.
Nixter.
Whoa!
Woohoo!
I got
Beef and pool.
We have
Wait,
peoples. We have enough. We don't have enough peoples. But it'll be enough for this. Oh shit! And I almost dropped my fucking mic. I'm a mess. Anyway,
Story of your life.
shut up. Anyway, so let's start with fucking Tetsuo Shima. I'm so happy we got to fucking watch that movie with you guys, and I'll be putting out that reaction soon.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that would still hold up one of the best fucking movies ever. And I'm actually happy to be able to get a hold of the fucking manga for a little bit because my god, there was a few key differences, especially towards the end. For starters, Akira is alive in the fucking manga and actually is his own character at one point. And and okay, I'm just gonna go straight to it. Fucking Tetsuo really had more time to develop his powers in the manga, so I'm probably gonna be using more of that. But they do share a decent amount. But straight away, his powers are pretty much straightforward. He's telekinesis. What else? He can read minds. He can pretty much do most of the crazy shit you could think of at the time. And honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if this was the main inspiration for fucking L in Stranger Things.
Getting some facts about Tetsuo.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna open and straight up say that I think Magneto would wipe the fucking floor with him.
Oh yeah, agreed. But I want to see if I can go more into detail what exactly these guys can do. But yeah, and just straightforward. I honestly think it's basically Magneto just fighting a weaker version of all of Xavier's top guys. Hell, basically a weaker version of him.
Yeah, I mean,
Because
Tetsuo's strong, but I don't know, man. I
yeah,
don't know his feats, right? It's not fair. I don't know his feats.
yeah. Well, he doesn't really. He had very few to really go with. With the movie, it was very straight to the point. In the manga, he had a little bit more to develop. Like he actually instead of just going straight on the rampage, he actually kind of started his own gang using the fucking clown guys from earlier.
Oh.
Yeah, and basically started his own turf war against Kaneda and his crew. And eventually he ended up doing as in the movie looking for Akira, but in the movie he only found like jars and pieces of him, but nope, in the manga he actually is alive, and the motherfucker was
Oh.
really far down in like some weird. He was like in some bizarre coma where his own conscience was kind of just not there. But once Tetsuo found him, he pretty much brought him up like, "Yo, I found him!" And then it was just nothing but cultists from there on. Everyone was following them, especially since they literally had their hero slash god in the flesh. So now it was just an insane war between Tetsuo's group, who technically they say they all serve Akira, but he's literally just kind of a catatonic state. So Tetsuo is basically making all the fucking choices there. Yeah, they really go into detail how much more of a villain he was in that compared to the movie.
That's cool. It's a good build up. I mean, you have time with manga, obviously, and
Yeah,
they
well,
had to rush it in the movie, unfortunately. But I mean, obviously, it doesn't take too much away from the movie. So, talk to me. What are this young man's feats? Right? We can do both. Obviously, does the manga have everything from the movie? I would assume.
basically the exact same powers, including that baby transformation thing. But at the end, he has somewhat a little bit more of control of it. Not too much,
Hmm.
but I wouldn't say enough that would make much of a difference because he does eventually die the same way, being engulfed in
Yeah.
that light, and then everyone like him with those powers pretty much just crossed over in their their godly way.
Right. Right. Some type of astral plane or something. I don't want to say astral plane. Some type of not quite afterlife, something or other.
Yeah, but either way, with their powers work, it's just such unique and such dormant, immense power that even in both manga and the movie, they claim that it's powerful
Yeah.
enough to create a literal Big Bang, in an alternate universe that can still physically affect where they are, which was that singularity at the end.
Yeah.
And that's what started the whole freaking war to begin with, when they were trying to experiment on kids to muster these powers, and then there goes Tokyo. And same thing happens again, both in manga and the movie, where they just set it off by accident because, what was it? Oh yeah, it was the kids, the other experiment trying to pretty much stop Tetsuo, but by combining their powers. But in the manga, it was a little bit different. It ended up being Akira directly when he actually gained his consciousness that stopped him. But when it comes to beating him, it's very weird. Like, you have to like force Tetsuo to constantly use his powers where he kind of loses control of it. Because here's another thing, he actually is always in pain, and actually in the movie he was taken and straight to the hospital by the military to be experimented on. Manga, he was not. He actually took time to really develop, and then actually willingly went over to the military so they can help him, because it was, he not only could not control his powers, but he would get these immense headaches. And this was the type of kid, and being a gangster and all that, he would be on some heavy duty whatever, like their fictional drugs or shit, and he would be looking for that shit just not just for a fix, but just to calm himself. And ironically would actually also accelerate it, so he would have to be on certain medicine that the military would have to him just to keep him steady and more maintained, and even cause some of that aging shit, because for some reason that's part of the side effect of those powers, would do that Benjamin
Was
Button
it the powers
crap.
or the medication?
Bit of both, because the powers are just, because the kids, they're in control because they have the medicine to kind of keep it, but unfortunately that side effect causes that form of aging. And in the manga, he actually does show a bit of that aging too, but it gets to the point where it halts to more like he kind of just like go more pure white, I guess more like an albino kind of look. It's weird on how their powers affect their body, but it's definitely very self-destructive, which will definitely be a factor in the fight. Because if his own powers are just going to slowly kill him, then he's definitely not going to want to go at full power right away, unless he knows he's going to win.
I'm gonna buy myself.
And what was it?
Gotcha.
And let's see, really quick, I just want to go through some of his abilities because it's a little of a mess. It's just whatever they can think of. Telekinesis, teleportation, mind reading, which won't really do much as long as Magneto's got that helmet on. Force field, which pretty basic, very similar to like Android 18's Android barrier, just a quick little, just small circular thing to even strong enough to even block, hell, even bend lasers from even reaching him.
We saw a gauge, I think, on how strong the force field is, right? I mean, it took a whole, well, I don't know what the exact caliber of the freaking tank shell was that was shot at him. He can block it.
Yeah, he can slow it down. He literally just stopped his trap and then set it off just to make a point. But I think one of the more deadly attacks to really test that was those lasers that the military had on the bridge, because those are probably the most deadly ground-based weaponry that really had to fuck with, aside from that soul cannon, but we'll get to that.
He did block them, right?
Yeah, you can see the outline of like the circle of the barrier, and it's like bending the laser, and it goes around.
Only, I think, took damage when he was just flat out distracted. Like, you know, as long as he's not distracted, which, you know, that's a weakness for him.
Yeah, and for him, that's gonna be a major weakness because he is a cocky little fuck. Because you gotta remember, this kid, he's a little shit. He really is a little shit. I forget what it's called, but it's similar to what Magneto can do, but he basically can use he did lose an arm, and he basically replaced it with just parts around him as his new limb.
Yeah, I think that's just an extension of telekinesis.
Yeah,
he manipulated the matter and just moved it to his will, you know?
Yeah. Oh, and I didn't really notice this in the movie, but the manga has pointed out that he has somewhat of a healing, like slight regeneration ability, as long as he's not overusing his powers to just pretty much get his body an overload. But That being said, he's still gonna want to just have fun and just go nuts. But now the one thing I don't understand if it'll make a difference is if he does go overload, will he cause a singularity? And I'm not sure how powerful that singularity would be to Magneto, because I'm not sure if he has faced anything like that. I mean, granted, it's the Marvel universe. They they deal with black holes and shit like that, and
All
God
types
knows.
of wild shit, right?
Yeah. So
I mean, you have to, yeah, in all fairness, right? You have to base it on what he's actually done in the manga, right? Because that shows everything. Like, if he's done that, like if he has gone full out and caused that, then it's a topic,
Mm-hmm.
you know. But if he hasn't, then he can eat shit and die. Fuck him.
Yeah.
I'm very biased. Forgive me.
Oh no, go for it. And I'm already not even. And we already said before, I'm not even sure he'll be able to last against Magneto because we'll get to him, but he's just much more calculative
Right.
and way more careful. And
Yeah,
but yeah.
He's way more experienced.
Oh
Right?
yeah.
So let's do it. Go ahead. What else we got for young Tetsuo?
Just that if he uses his powers too much and without the drugs to really sustain him, he just he goes all
He loses
Cronenberg.
control. Yeah, he loses flat out control. So basically, Tetsuo is just he is a full on telekinetic, um, inexperienced but very strong. Can manipulate matter a little bit, right? Force field, not quite flight, but like he can,
Well, he
right?
can lift himself, so
He can like like do some type of hovering, but he's not like flying kind of.
no, he can. I mean, if they're gonna take
Okay.
from both, I mean, we gotta remember one of his feats when he took the hit from the soul cannon. Right before the second one even got to him, he sets up an energy field so he can go into space and not be affected by the vacuum. So his shield is capable of protecting him from that. So I guess he can keep some air in there so he can do whatever damage he needs. And
That's true. You're right. He did fly into
and he literally
space.
went into space.
That's true. He did. Yeah, he went. That's pretty badass. That is. I
Now,
remember that.
yeah, how long he would be able to last him there? That's I
That's
don't
another question.
exactly. And then right
Okay.
after, he basically replaced his arm with said machinery all over. Actually, he literally used the destroyed pieces of the satellite to replace it, just to make a point of like, and now this is mine. And that's about it, really, with him. It's pretty straightforward because I mean, I know the manga itself is like 2,000 fucking chapters or some shit. It's huge in comparison to the how they're able to fit into the movie, but really not much in comparison to what they're able to tell us in the movies. So I think that's really it. And it's just my main concern is when his body goes overload, what will that singularity do? And that's what we'll find out with Magneto next. All right, so that's it with Tetsuo. Let's see what good boy Magneto can do.
Magneto, my friend. Magneto. Okay, young Eric Lensher. Not so young. So, I mean, he's the quote-unquote master of magnetism, right?
Magnets.
Honestly, he might as well be fucking master of the. We can move the world itself, honestly, if he really had to. Because realistically speaking, when we're talking about,
What was it, like a galaxy away or something like that? From like,
yeah,
I forget how long they said, how far they said. I think they said like he can pull himself to Earth from like a galaxy away within a day or something.
yeah, that's literally his
it's
compass.
ridiculous. Yeah,
His-
it's ridiculous, right? So I mean, his powers and abilities are practically limitless at that point. He can control all forms of fucking magnetism. He can summon force fields. He can shoot electromagnetic pulses and disable shit. He can manipulate matter, and matter in terms of anything that's related to metal, right? Which, if you really think about it, almost everything has a little bit of metal in it. Even your blood has iron in it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which is
Oh
pretty
God,
fucked up, right?
X2, that
Think
poor
about it.
guard. Well, no.
But and you know what? But that is outside of that. That is canon because I think that there was a comic where he not only defeated the Avengers, right? But he left them in fucking agony because he reversed the flow of their blood. So think about that for a second. He can completely access the iron in your blood and completely debilitate you, right? Without even having just like yeah, whatever. Reverse your blood flow. You're like oh fuck, and like what? You an aneurysm?
He might as well have cheated his powers to the point where he literally can just bend and manipulate virtually anything,
Seriously.
from Earth, because as long as he can find that metallic ingredient, whatever, into whatever he needs to control, and which is almost in any form of rock, if you really look hard enough,
Exactly.
that is under his control.
The,
Talk.
the only metal like material anything he can't manipulate is vibranium. That's it.
That's true.
That's
true.
that's space metal, right? So
Yeah,
he's
it's a space metal.
Yes.
I forget why he cannot, but there is, adamantium, yes. Vibranium, no.
And then manipulating energies instead of magnetism takes a toll on his body.
Yes.
And then when he's really, really hurt, he's on. It's become obviously it becomes harder and harder to manipulate the more damage he takes.
In comparison to the shields, right, that they can summon up, it's a little unfair, right? Because Magneto's shields have been tested way more than Tetsuo's, because he's like short-lived, right?
Mm-hmm.
I know that Magneto has survived blasts from like the fucking Phoenix Force. He's survived nuclear blasts, like just in his own shields, and there's no issue with him, quote unquote, being distracted. His shields are always just up, like it's just like breathing for him. So that's like another thing that Tetsuo is gonna have to deal with, is that he's constantly shielded.
He can
at any
also
given moment.
fly. He can also fly and like become invisible by bending the light and the laser.
Right, yeah, it's like, come
Oh
on,
fuck!
man.
I wasn't expecting that one.
Ridiculous. I'm trying to find other feats that I don't know of. Like, hold on. Apparently, he created a wormhole at some point.
Yeah, I actually just found that.
No.
1 second.
Yeah.
On occasion, he has altered the behavior of gravitational fields around him, which has been suggested as evidence of the existence of a unified field which can manipulate. He has demonstrated the capacity to produce a wormhole and safely teleport himself and others via wormhole. This motherfucker can make a tesseract on the spot.
Yes.
He
So
can also take life forces too, like life force absorption.
Yeah.
Is it? Are we sure it's metal he's bending? Or is it just reality? Isn't he just God at this point?
Well,
He's bending life.
He just found metal
like,
in every
it's
form
more
of
than
matter.
Just metal, right? Yeah, it's more than just metal. It's like, because of commented, that it's a polarity thing, right? He can control
Infinite
polarity, like he can. Pardon me, Infinite One. He can. He has and can reverse like the Earth's polarity. Like, it's more than just the magnetism. It expands into more. So he's not an Omega level mutant, which would be like the Phoenix, but like he's up there. And
Yeah, he's
very
damn
dangerous.
close.
He's like, he can like, if he went full on, he could probably destroy the Earth if he really wanted to, which he doesn't. But
He could probably just pull the moon right onto it if he wanted to. He could clearly pull a Thanos without that fucking glove. Gauntlet, excuse me.
It's ridiculous.
He can also reverse gravity, which is fun.
This man figured out all the shit scientists are still working on.
You can cut, and then like Taco said, he can control the blood and the cells in the blood, or like the iron in the blood or whatever, make the body freeze.
Like, come on, man! It's just, at this point, it's completely unfair. And as far as these battles go, in my opinion, and obviously I think we all agree, it's like, it's just so goddamn one-sided.
Honestly, this is just like what I said with the Homelander and Omni-Man fight. Actually, it's what they said too. We're basically seeing a soldier go up against a bully.
Yeah, that's like, come on.
Also, with the whole like telepathy thing, he can resist telepathy because he alone, on sheer willpower,
He's had enough
resisted
practice.
Xavier's telepathy.
Yes. I think there's a point in the comics where he doesn't need the helmet anymore. He just chooses to wear it. He just can resist it, like, just on his merit alone. But
It just makes him look badass.
It became just more sentimental to him.
Look, baby. I would have loved to have seen what Tetsuo could have become. You know what I mean? Because that would have been crazy.
Yeah. I mean, granted, he did technically successfully cross over as an entity, since that's what
Yeah,
the
they like
kids
become
basically
like
did.
pure energy, I guess, at that point.
Yeah. And just to go back, that was kind of the point of what they wanted to express Akira was, because in the manga he actually was flesh and blood, and in the movie it was really just energy. But they that's how that was a little bit more literal than how they want to explain it in the show. Like he
Yeah,
is that
yeah.
powerful. All right, but
Makes sense though.
what
I mean, like,
else?
what would be the next step? You know what I mean for a being like that
Yeah.
that's just growing exponentially in power and telekinetic power and all that other jazz. Like, that's like the next step. You become energy.
And even then, now we have a better understanding of what Magneto can truly do. This son of a bitch can actually manipulate wormholes, so he could probably use his ability to alterate the singularity, and maybe even just not even have to survive it, just
You know,
turn it
that's
off.
interesting. Yeah, that is fucking interesting. You know,
Yeah,
shit.
because he's literally breaking the unified field theory. Because fuck you, science.
I know.
All right, I think we should on Tetsuo. Yeah.
I'm sorry. Yeah, and I like Tetsuo. It's just that when I heard his Magneto, I'm like, nah, there's no way.
Yeah,
Sorry, man. Sorry, kid.
same.
There's just no way.
No.
This
No.
15-year-old runt ain't gonna last against a
Bro.
6-year-old legend.
Magneto has beat Apocalypse, bro.
This is true. With help, but still held his fucking own.
I mean, yeah, but he basically fucking tore him apart, man.
Yeah.
And Apocalypse is essentially a god.
Mm.
So it's, you know.
He actually, that being said, Apocalypse could probably do same, if not more, than Tetsuo.
Yeah, no, Apocalypse can he has control over matter and on like a molecular level. It's not just like matter manipulation. It's like, bro, he can like break you down to the molecule.
Yeah.
Scary.
Absolute
Fucking-
matter manipulation. And if that's not enough to take out Magneto, then yeah, no. They should probably fix that list. They need to put him back on the Omega chart, because that is some bullshit.
You
There's-
know,
there's a
yeah,
reason.
like you're right. He beat Apocalypse is a Omega level mutant, and he defeated him. Like, come on, he tore him apart.
And just a reminder, this guy is just a civil rights leader too, and that's all it took for him to push himself.
You know, he fucking survived the apocalypse. I'm sorry, not the apocalypse, no, because I just said apocalypse. He survived the Holocaust. Forgive me, which is also why he killed the Red Skull.
That is true. That is true.
You know, look, this is too much. It's too much. It's unfair because of Magneto's tenure.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
and the amount of
He's-
information that they build on them, the progressiveness of
Right,
his character
it just
has
too much experience. Even if it was like, even if you cut it in half, it's just too much fucking experience, man. It's not happening.
ugh. Honestly, what was it? Michael Fassbender's version, when he was just at his youngest, before he even really got more into his powers, probably would be more than enough. And all he had to do was just stop the Bay of Pigs. So is that canon? Did he basically just stop the Cold War in that movie? I forget.
I don't know.
Think so. I don't want to say yes because I don't remember, but I think so.
That was like, I mean, that was so a little funky, but that was still cool. But I was like, wait a minute. So did he just alternate
Amazing.
history?
Amazing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I wouldn't doubt it. There's shit like that. And, there's so many. Here's the thing about, not just comics, but like even the X-Men comics. There's so many different lines of them. There's Uncanny X-Men. There's X-Men. There's Magneto's reign. There's like so much shit that like I guess everything's canon. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's too wild. But hey, whatever.
Because multiverse theory, so they can just say anything at this point.
Yeah. Knowing Death Battle, they're gonna look at their feats, their greatest feats, and what they can do, and they stand them up to each other. But as you break it down, it's just too much. Everything
Oh.
else-
So, even more crazy shit. He actually used the Earth's magnetic field to dampen the powers of all telepaths. So he literally can use his magnetic field to weaken him on the spot once he's figured him out, which will not take him long at all.
Come on, you know what I mean?
This was not
on.
fair.
Are we watching? I think we're just watching another slaughter.
He's gonna murder this
They're
child.
gonna make it fun. They're gonna make it look fun, but it's gonna be Magneto like toying with him, and then he's just gonna go, bro, it's over, kid.
It's
Yeah.
gonna be
Once
like,
he sees
oh,
giant baby Cronenberg, that he's probably gonna be a little confused. But once that singularity kicks in, he's be like, "All right, I got this."
Not even
So-
that. Like, there's metal in his body when he's doing that, so he's just gonna like tear him apart. He's like, yeah, okay.
Yeah, he'll
I
do
could
whatever.
really see him trying to recruit him as like a member of his mutant squad,
The Brotherhood.
and then when he
Uh-huh.
ultimately refuses, he's just like, nah, fuck you.
Oh no, he's gonna be like, "Nah, fuck you. Join my group. I'll have my boys will kick your ass." He'll just be flexing like a dumbass, and then Magneto will just be looking at him like, "Okay."
That's it.
Okay,
No.
okay, kid, my daughter's the Scarlet Witch.
That's. Well,
I mean,
that's fucking true.
Do not
Imagine
fuck with
Wanda.
that one.
Imagine Wanda comes in.
what telepathy?
All right, kid.
Just what, Akira?
What a Kira. Manga's erased from existence.
Basically, she could. She literally could.
It just cuts to Boomstick erasing a picture that he drew of like Akira anime book.
So
That being
I mean-
said, she is stronger than him. But either way, Magneto ain't gonna do. Is gonna destroy Tetsuo. Period. Honestly, I think that's really it. There's really not much to cover. It's so one-sided like the last one. So all we gotta do is just wait and see what happens.
I mean, hey, I'm here for the show. It's gonna be fun.
Oh yeah, cannot wait
I was
Sunday.
I was just thinking like because we gotta watch The Boys either tomorrow, probably tomorrow because it's late now.
Mm.
But Punisher versus Billy Butcher, because Punisher doesn't have any like.
Yeah, I can
powers.
see that. Well,
Really good.
well,
Nah, man, Punisher's dangerous, bro.
yeah, and well, I mean, depending on. Well, then again, there is the comic where he does beat the what was it, the Avengers or just all mutants or some shit. They basically did with him what they did with a Deadpool comic where Deadpool just kills everyone.
okay.
Punisher had one of those as well.
Oh,
Yeah,
I did not know that. Okay.
Punisher's lethal, man. Like I don't know too much about him, but on the little bits that I've seen, he has taken out some like heavy hitters alone. Just him alone, just sheer off of not only how he plans, and just it's not just about the guns; it's how he plans everything.
Yeah,
His Batman-esque planning.
yeah, he's very fucking careful, and that's saying this is serious military training that he got. So he's gonna bring his A game. He's gonna bring his S game to the fight.
Winner, Punisher. Okay, death battle over. We're done.
Well, that being said, Billy Butcher in the comic, and now from the trailers of the new season, can use powers for a limited time because now that
For a
they
day.
because now that they introduce Compound V into the public as a recreational drug now, fuck all. Ugh, that's gonna be a fucking mess. Cannot wait for that reaction. That being said, I think that's pretty much it on these guys. So we'll end it right here. So thank you guys for joining us. I'm Deviant Dario.
Infinite one.
Beef.
And there was a fourth. Where is he?
He's quiet.
He fell asleep.
Oh,
He's sleepy boy.
All right, guys, that's it. See you next time. The Axel Death Battle.
bye.
Bye.
Wake the fuck up.